Welcome back to Fargonauts, and there's this guy talking in a weird little voice.
He just looks like an old man version of fucking Scottish guy.
He reminds me of Ben Mendelsohn in Rogue One.
Kind of reminds me of John Noble.
John Noble.
Noble.
You can't have any of my mints on my chest.
But I want them.
You can't.
They're peppermint and spearmint. It's not fair.
They're hot tamales and they're spearmint.
Speepermint. What's this? I don't like that his hat doesn't match the coat.
It's not supposed to. It's a punishment.
His face doesn't match his head.
he didn't. I don't know. Didn't shower one day, so they're like, "You stink. Here's a black hat. Put away your white hat. You have to wear a black hat that doesn't match your white clothes.
You smell. You stink.
You're stinky."
He's wearing those director pants.
It matches. I was just like, to me, I'd be like, give me, a white hat would look cleaner,
True.
Well, that'd look cleaner though, wouldn't
Dish bit.
it? I mean, they're British.
He has 2 pens in his pocket.
Yeah, what were those things again? They finally showed what the shit those were in Obi-Wan, didn't they?
No, in Mandalorian he uses them as
Mando,
a
yeah.
key in those
Yeah.
terminals to say like,
Like
I need
identifier
information.
thing.
I need information.
Yeah, it's like
Put it
a
on this
credentials
stick.
thing. But that is funny because I don't think we've ever seen a single piece of like paper or anything to be written on ever in Star Wars.
Yeah,
It's the
true.
future. There's no paper.
Everything's on like those
That's insane.
pads. They've used
I-
pads.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit how far in the future it is. People are going to need to quickly just write something down that's not doesn't need data. You need
Just-
hard copies.
Makes Windu use
Just
that
talk
mirror.
into some.
Remember that thing that he was like testing Anakin? He's like, "What's on
What's
the
that chicken
screen?"
boy doing?
Just walking away like a chicken boy does. Are they just following me? Do I know where I'm going? I'm just gonna go follow them.
Is that chicken following me?
They following me? Do I know where I'm going?
What is
Are you gonna
that?
get in that chicken? No. I was gonna say, is that chicken boy ready for you there? But no, he's looking around.
Make a right at the chicken.
Chicken robot? And I am an imperial girl.
We are living in an imperial world, and I am an imperial girl.
No,
They're dropping off a camel. That's a cool ship out, though.
It's a big elephant
Look
boy.
at it.
just look at it. Just look at it. It's going away. Goodbye.
Oh, look. Goodbye.
Little boy. Chicken boy.
So, in vague terms, I really enjoyed the Prey movie.
Yes.
It was a
Heard only good things.
it was a fun, throwback to that style of movie. And I
Yeah,
liked the Predator in it. The Predator was fucking awesome. It was like a Mortal Kombat character.
They did a good thing where they didn't just treat this not just as like a monster. They knew not to hide it. They showed plenty and enough that you got good perspective. And
Oh, and brilliant kills. Like some of
my
the
gosh,
coolest
yeah.
kills I've seen in Predator. Like, he does something with a
Predator?
net. He does like
And-
a net kill. And his
oh, that
shield kill.
net boy here.
Annette Bening?
Annette Bening, Bening it all over the place.
They just did a really good job of introducing actually having a theme to the movie instead of it just being fight.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's not like they're two separate things. That the theme directly influences the action of the movie.
Yeah, great
And-
payoffs, great setups, and great payoffs. I would say too.
Mhm. Something that I learned about this movie that I think is really cool. It was simultaneously released with a full Comanche dub,
Yeah.
and that's the first time that a movie has ever been released with a simultaneous release of a indigenous dub, which is awesome.
The Comanches. Fucking nutsack, Chin.
It would have lent itself more immersive too, because in the movie there's another group or tribe of people that are like French, like Canadian or something
Yeah.
like that, and they were speaking full on French, and sometimes they would speak in like a Frenchy English. Still hard to understand, so I had subtitles on anyway.
Some Frenchy English.
So like I would have still been fine with just them talking in their language, and then
Oh man, if the entire movie was just in like Comanche and French, I would not have minded whatsoever.
yeah, because you can
What about Comanche?
you can get the context pretty easily, like what's happening. Like, okay, yep, I get the story.
From Manchi.
Fromage.
And there's just enough that goes on in the movie where it's like, okay, clearly this is suspension of disbelief, but I don't give a shit because it's fun and it's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you?
Do it right. That's all that matters.
There's not stuff where it's like, oh, they're gonna have to find a way to explain that. It's just like, nah, don't worry about it.
Nah.
We don't need to explain it. You don't need to know anymore. It's just here's a cool thing.
I'm taking the orders of my commanding officer.
I like simple stories with like just give me the action. The story doesn't have to service like any huge idea. It's just like, all right, I get what these characters' motives are. Put them in a situation where it's like difficult for them to get out of, and learn from mistakes, and that all happens in this movie. Like there's a lot of growth from these characters, and it's really rewarding. I would say it's probably sure you should watch it as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, I'm just watching a bunch of shit.
Shut up! I know you are. You watched Sandman yet? Or I should say,
Been watching the Sandman.
Sadman.
Yep.
It's more like a show called Sadman. Is it?
Oh, yeah,
made
dude.
that joke?
He was a massive. That was a massive influence on goth culture in the '90s, dude.
Sadman.
I mean, yeah, I don't know that he's sad.
He's super sad
Yeah,
in the
he's
show. He's like crying.
He's not sad.
Every moment he's crying.
No, he's not.
Oh, dude,
Yes,
the actor
I mean
is always
he experiences the emotion of sadness, but I would not
No.
define
The Sandman-
Dream or Morpheus as like a sad boy at all.
The Sandman doesn't feel much. He's not feeling much emotion in there.
Yeah, he's like not. I don't
He's
know
like
if
learning
being-
how to.
Yeah,
He's like learning how to be a real boy.
That's what I'm getting from like he in the first episode. Yeah, he's brought into the realm of the real world, and he's prisoned there, and he can't really get out. And
oh my god.
and he's starting to learn more like a human emotion, and the actor that's portraying him, he's always just, to me, Sandman doesn't, maybe he is not sad, but his actor is playing him very teary-eyed in a lot of scenes. Not a bad thing. I'm just saying in every scene it
teary-eyed.
in a lot of scenes that I've seen him in, very watery-eyed.
I think that's just what's happened because I wouldn't say he was teary-eyed, but
It lends to the emotion of the scene. Like I get what they're trying to convey. Like it's fine.
he's a moody boy.
I'm just dying
But
like
his-
crazy here. What's going on?
He's he's a otherworldly being that doesn't really contend with humanity, so he doesn't do feelings really. He gets there's glimpses here and there, and he's learning things. But episode 6 is really good. There's quite a few. David Thewlis comes in, and
he's John D.
Oh, the
Yeah,
fucking
I've,
Thew.
yeah,
I've watched. I'm in. Is there only 10 episodes?
yep.
Okay, I'm on the last episode then, and I'm like halfway
Okay.
through it.
Episode.
I like the John D stuff, and I like the
Yep.
the death episode where
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
talking-
Episode 6.
I was talking with Wilson about this. Like in media, I haven't been introduced to a good representation of like the concept of death being like the only one there for you as you die.
Yep.
So it's not like
Yeah.
a lonely concept. And I didn't know, like maybe I've seen this in my subconscious, but like they basically talk about it in that episode. I was like, this is exactly like
Yeah.
what I had in my head.
Yeah,
Gaiman purposefully wanted to kind of subvert what we've seen as the character of death, where it's always this, this skeletal dude,
Being
and
scared.
it's always
like,
spooky or whatever. The scary thing, he wanted to instead have this lighthearted, kind kind of there. That's more comforting, less spooky.
I can't remember where I heard it, but there's a saying, "Death is kind."
Yeah, and that there's a lot of stuff that is just straight up off the page. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this is a very, very faithful adaptation. The death episode. There's a couple different stories, but like at least the main first chunk of it is issue 8 of the comic book, which shares the name with the episode, "The Sound of Her Wings," and that issue is just fucking great. And it's pretty much that first chunk where she meets up with him and they kind of walk around, and then it ends with that dude who was playing soccer dying. Like, that was like that issue, and it's just so good.
And then that second half where it's like him making the deal with death to like make this guy live for 100 years.
Yeah.
And then becoming like a friend. And I was like, that is very cute. I like that idea.
Yeah. I've watched. I have 3 episodes left. I have 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
Left.
They're really good. I like the serial convention. That was really funny.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, the Corinthians tight, fucking Boyd Holbrook.
Yeah.
Fucking Narcos guy.
Narcos dude. Yep, I remember him. There's some good cinematography, good stories. I like these isolated stories and things like that. They're great.
One thing that I really appreciate, I don't know whether it was Gaiman's influence to like really push for adapting the visual parts of it.
Oh yeah,
when it comes
he's
to
heavily involved in it.
I know, but like I didn't know if he was more. Whoever made the decision to actually portray a lot of this, I'm just glad that it's a visual medium. Don't be afraid to show some weird or abstract or beautiful shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
Especially when it comes to the dream and all that weird stuff.
Stephen Fry plays a really good character too.
Yeah.
I like Stephen Fry.
So we haven't seen. Well, I guess I don't want to say.
Okay.
Since neither of y'all have finished it.
They So I think he said the first 8 episodes cover the first essentially trade paperback, Preludes and Nocturnes. And then, the next season we'll do Seasons of Mist, I think is the next one. Gwendolyn Christie as Lucifer is pretty tight.
That was crazy. She did such a good job.
Yeah, she was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That Lucifer was like the coolest depiction of it. And then Joanna Constantine, whatever it was.
Yep.
That was pretty great too.
He's introducing people to the proper way of saying Constantine's name.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I liked Gwendolyn Christie did a really good job of showing the patience of Lucifer.
Yep.
I'm excited to see more of her specifically.
Oh yeah.
That whole
The
bargain scene
rematch.
was great.
The rematch is coming.
There is a character in the final episode that the way that they do it visually is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm very, very much enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good TV. Have you been watching any other things? Have you guys got on the Severance train at all?
No.
No, I don't know that I have access to Apple TV Plus.
Oh, okay. You can try it out for just a week if you haven't yet.
Oh yeah, but then they make you pay for it after the week.
I know, but you can cancel it right after that.
I'd just rather not.
I'm just saying, if you ever want it, get the itch. It's a great show, great TV, just for that week.
I gotta say, I have been watching a lot of the TV show Alone.
Naked and Afraid?
No.
Oh.
Alone.
Home
There's
Alone?
one season of it on Netflix, and there's a bunch more on Hulu.
Oh my god, am I in the camel? Or the...
You are the camel.
They just drop a fucker off somewhere, don't they?
It's like 10 people who are trained to some degree in survival, like wilderness survival,
Oh, okay.
and they're just like, hey, each of y'all stay out here for as long as you can. There's 10 of you out here. We're not going to tell you when anybody taps out, and then the last person out here wins $500,000.
Okay,
Crazy.
cool.
So they build their own shelters. They have to feed themselves, do all this stuff. Fun.
I've been watching Only Murders in the Building on Hulu.
Did you
Yeah.
watch the first season, or are you in the second season, or what?
I'm up to date.
Okay, I haven't.
This new
yet-
episode
I've
that
yet
came
to
out
watch-
last night.
I've yet to watch the second season. Is that any good?
Yeah, I mean, I just like the characters, so
The characters.
it's
are funny
one
as
of those
hell.
things with me is like, if I like the characters, I can kind of roll with whatever. I'm enjoying the
Sure.
story in the second season,
Good.
but like, even if like a show, like the story starts getting shitty, if I enjoy the characters, I'm good. So that's kind of one of those situations.
I'm watching.
I'm not saying this season's shitty. It's not. I enjoy it quite a bit, but I'm just saying it's one of those shows where like even if it got shitty, I'd still be okay with it.
That is not the case with Better Call Saul. I don't know if you guys got into that, but it's so fucking good.
I think I left off at the end of season 4 or something.
It's tying up so much great ideas from Breaking Bad now. It's just so cool. I love it.
I'm kind of waiting for it to finish because I have not gone back and fully rewatched Breaking Bad, and I want to.
really? Okay, yeah.
I want to rewatch Breaking Bad, and then also rewatch all of Better Call Saul.
It takes a while, but once they introduce more like cartel stuff, and like there's just episodes dedicated to just you forget you're watching Better Call Saul. It's just like I'm watching like this cartel drama now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's so good.
I think I've only watched like the first season. I haven't caught up. I haven't watched all of it.
I have a book called Breaking Bad 101,
Ooh.
and it's an episode by episode kind of guide. I forget exactly who it's written by, but it's written by somebody that like they either worked on the show or they like directly know Vince Gilligan, so they were able to get a lot of insight.
Sure.
And it's like, hey, during this scene, this is how it was produced, or this is deeper context into what's happening, or this is how they came up with writing it, etc., etc.
Cool.
For every episode in the series. So I'm gonna like read that while I'm rewatching the series.
That's awesome. Because that would help me a lot. Because I really wanted to get like the DVDs or the Blu-ray and have the commentary track. Because there's some that I've seen like clips of, and there's some with the whole ensemble cast just in a room talking about an episode, and that's just really interesting to me.
I mean, it is a strange like fact that Bryan Cranston is in one of the best TV shows I've ever seen, and he's also in one of my favorite pieces of like anime that I've ever seen. So
Yeah.
that's a fun dichotomy there. I don't know many other actors that I can say that for.
It's Malcolm in the Middle and Power Rangers, right?
You're talking about what was that episode? Or no, what was it? A Disney Channel movie or Uncle Santa?
Oh yeah,
He was Santa
yeah, where
Claus?
he's their like ne'er-do-well uncle, like the kid's ne'er-do-well uncle.
Nick Claus or something.
Uncle Nick. His name's Uncle Nick, but he
I-
has to like take over for Santa that night or some shit.
He's
I've not seen that.
he's a thief or something.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
He's a thief.
He's not like actually related to Santa Claus. He's just like, his name is Nick, but
and he ain't no
he's always been
saint.
shitty.
I'll tell you
So
that.
like, once upon a something, or I don't know.
Old stank Nick.
Old stank Nick, dude.
And we'll be back with more stankiness in the next episode of Fargonauts, Star Wars
Stank
Battlefront 2.
Skywalker.
Not gonna wash. I'm gonna stank.